Shalom, shalom. Call Halayim Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Chakudash and Shani Kabada got a Walla Rakwab to Kwanyam Nawa Washalayakim Nawa. And that's double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom Wabarakim Labakayim Shaliyah Sharala. And that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And a peace and blessings to the confusion of faces. And may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon the brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, offering their bodies as a living sacrifice out there on the front lines. So I'm going to read starting in the book of Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4 because, of course, as of right now, we're still currently in the Passover. And we can spiritually apply Ezekiel 9 and 4 and really down through verse 6 to the times that we're coming into. And of course, we're all looking to be passed over. We're all looking for deliverance and salvation and to be passed over from the death and perilous times that we're coming into, that's coming to America, and of course that's coming to the entire world as well, but specifically to Babylon the Great, which is America. So this is Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all of the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So we can spiritually apply that to, of course, the Lord marking the elect out of the nation of Israel, those that sigh and that cry for all of the abominations, meaning all the evilness and wickedness that be done in the midst of America, which is Babylon the Great. And of course, as we've been bringing out for years, starting with our apostles of GMS on down, you look up that word mark in the Hebrew, and it's thawah, which means mark, or rather as a sign of exemption from judgment. All right, so that's how we can spiritually apply Ezekiel 9 and 4 to the times that we're coming into. And once again, keeping in mind that we're currently in the Passover right now. And what I'm going to do, Lord's will, I pray that this video is edifying, is just show you all of the deaths that have taken place literally within the past week and within the past 2 weeks tops. All right, coming up to the Passover. And if you made it thus far in the truth, then of course you got to give a big Thawada wa Barak Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, because, or let me say Barakatah Yahweh wa Barakatah Yahweh Shai more accurately, because of course it's a blessing that we're still in this truth and that we made it this far, straight like that. It's a blessing. But just to finish this out, verse 5 says, And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him to the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And once again, we can apply this in the times that we're coming into, talking about the elect out of the nation of Israel. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. All right, so death is truly in the air, and it has been in the air, and death will be in the air. So once again, it's truly a blessing if you made it this far, and we're hoping and praying that we have that thawah, that we are exempt from judgment concerning the times that we're coming into. All right, and let me read this too. I brought it out before in one of my previous videos last week, but it still applies, so I'm going to read this really quickly and get into those articles. Amos chapter 8, starting at verse 1 says, Thus hath the Lord power shewed unto me, and behold, a basket of summer fruit. This basket of summer fruit is referring to the elect. The elect, once again, out of the nation of Israel. We got to keep saying that and saying it and saying it, because the Lord, the Messiah, the man who died on the cross, whose name is Yahweh Shai, only did that for the elect out of the nation of Israel. which consists of you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native American Indians. You are the true biblical Israelites. That is your true nationality. All right, verse 2 says, "And he said, Amos, what seest thou? And I said, A basket of summer fruit, the elect. Then said the Lord unto me, The end is come upon my people Israel. I will not again pass by them any more. And the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, saith the Lord power. There shall be many dead bodies. There shall be many dead bodies. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence." This is the time that we're coming into. Now, check out all the deaths, I should say, that happened coming and leading up to the Passover. All right, not that. So we have maybe about 3 or 4 articles, and then we're going to close out. Once again, Lord willing, this is edifying, all right, just to show that it's truly a blessing to still be in the truth right now. We have to continue to pray that the Lord keeps you in his truth, and that, of course, he keeps his Holy Spirit upon you. It says, thousands of Cyclone Idai survivors cling to rooftops, aid agency says, as death toll rises. So this is literally a cyclone that hit Africa last week that killed probably thousands of people, and that destroyed nearly 90% of that country. Now check this out. That particular country in Africa. It says rescue workers say they are scrambling to save around 10,000 survivors of tropical cyclone Idai who are clinging onto rooftops in Mozambique amid the threat of rising floods as heavy rain continues in the heavily affected regions. The Category 2 storm ripped through the southern African nation with 175 kph, I don't know, 109 miles per hour winds last week, flattening homes and buildings and causing widespread destruction as it moved through neighboring Zimbabwe and parts of Malawi. All right, now check this out. This just happened last week. It says, while the official death toll now stands at more than 200 in Mozambique, it is expected to rise significantly. On Monday, when the death toll was at 84, so literally just 2 days ago, when the death toll was at 84, President Filipe Nyusi said that everything indicates that we can have a record of more than 1,000 people dead. If casualties rise above that figure, Idai will be one of the deadliest tropical cyclones to hit the African continent. So specifically in that country in Africa, the death toll is at right now, and let me clarify this paragraph. When it says death toll is at 200, that means what they know, what they currently have a count of. So currently what they know is that there are at least 200 people. Now the president was saying what? Based upon the kind of disaster that they're facing, the death toll could be at 1,000, or he says more than 1,000 people. And who knows, it really could be. But this just happened last week, once again, leading up to the Passover. You see, 200 people dead already and counting, could be at 1,000. Now, there's a different article by CNN said that there were currently 500,000 people that lived in Mozambique, and 90% of Mozambique was destroyed, or currently is destroyed, by this cyclone. 90% of Mozambique is destroyed. It's done. It's destroyed by this cyclone. This happened just last week. Now that's all we're going to read on this article. I don't want to make it long. I probably got 3 more articles to get into just to beat the point home. This is all leading up to the Passover. Now, this happened last week too. We all know about this, or rather, I'm sorry, this was 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago, March 10th, I believe. Yeah. The March 10th crash. All right, the Ethiopian crash hub. It says airlines reputation stable, U.S. audit 737 MAX 8. The March 10th crash. On March 10th, the world was hit by the news that a passenger aircraft operated by Africa's top national carrier had crashed. The reference point for the information was solely the office of Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. All right, so now we're going to jump down because this article was written yesterday. Shoot, here we go. This article was written yesterday, so all I want to do is jump down to let you know that I haven't heard about it, exactly what happened. All right, and more specifically, the deaths concerning this accident. That's the point of this article right here. Here it is. Here it is right here. It says the crash of the Boeing company 737 MAX 8 airliner last week killed all 157 people on board and prompted regulators to ground the model pending more information from the investigation. And that's a point on this article right here. This crash of this airplane happened 2 weeks ago. And what happened? It said all 100, or matter of fact, this was last week. It says last week. So boom, it says all 157 people on board died. So we're talking about mass deaths that were happening last week. All right. So boom, that's one. That's two. That's two. Now, let's get this as well. We already know, I'm just beating a point home. All right. Because we're blessed to have made it to the Passover and to still be in the truth. The Lord truly is having mercy upon us, and you can never forget that. Now, this is from USA Today. It says, after killing dozens, New Zealand mosque attacks, suspect was headed to carry out third shooting. All right, but the Lord stopped him. That's what it was. Now, this is the point. We're not reading the whole article. Once again, just going into all the deaths. It says the suspect in last week's terror attack. All this happened last week. Everything was last week. That cyclone last week. The airplane crash last week. This mosque killing last week. Check it out. The suspect in last week's terror attack on 2 mosques in New Zealand that killed 50 people was likely on his way to carry out a third shooting before he was stopped by authorities. Now, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai stopped him. That's all he wanted. All right. But the point being what? This happened last week heading into the Passover. 50 people died. Once again, these aren't just small deaths here and there. No, we're talking about unordinary type of large deaths that were happening. Now, I'm only going to bring out, that's the point. I could just end the video right here. But after doing further research, I'm just going to bring, just because these are unusual deaths. All right. It says Middle Tennessee woman mauled to death by 6 German shepherds. This was just 4 hours ago. You see that? Just 4 hours ago. All right. And look, she was 84 years old. It says Bessie Jill Brown Peterson, 88. I'm sorry. I said 84, I think. 88 died after being attacked by the pack of dogs at her Evans Lane home in Pall Mall, a rural community, blah, blah, blah. She was gardening. I think it said she was gardening, and her neighbor's dogs, all 6 German shepherds, mauled her to death. They killed her. All right. Just showing an unusual death. All right. Because death is in the air. All right. It's over. And it ain't nothing really going to change concerning the times that the Bible prophesies to come. There's going to be what? Many dead bodies. We already read it in the book of Amos chapter 8. So we got to continue to pray for mercy and more blessings. All right. Now, this is the last one, and then we'll close out. It says family suing, and this was, it was published March 20th, updated 3 hours ago from Fox News. It says family suing over Grateful Dead mega fan and pot grower who was crushed to death by police driving a bulldozer. He was crushed to death, meaning he died by a bulldozer. A bulldozer ran this man over. Once again, I just brought out these last 2 articles just to show some unusual deaths. All right, all leading into the Passover. All right, but that's the point. I pray that this video was edifying. Remember, ain't nothing really going to change concerning the times that we're coming into. The Bible prophesies of a time that never was, nor that shall be. And that's the time that we're coming into. That's the perilous, evil time that we're coming into around the entire world, and more specifically here in Babylon the Great, which is America. So with that being said, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Machakudash. And while you have the time right now, while you have mercy, get your faith right with your power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I'm talking to you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans out there, you true Israelites, the elect out of the nation of Israel, because that's who we make these videos for. I want to give double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us his truth and who rule well, and in peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.